Hey everyone, TN.Frank here, bringing you a video. It's been a while, but I'm going to try to put another one out here. We're going to be talking about one 100 watt panel versus two 60 watt panels. What would be the better option? Would you get more power out of two 60s? I mean, that does add up to 120. Or is a 100 watt going to be just as good? I mean, form factor and everything, we'll look at that and how compact these are and difference in weight and stuff. But yeah, I mean, most people for general use will go with one of these 100 watt panels, and it is nice and thin. The form factor width and height wise though is a little bit more, so it's going to take a little more room that way, but yeah, it is thin, so it would slide into areas maybe some of the thicker ones wouldn't go to. On these Gazelles, something nice about them, they do come with the MC4 connectors, so that makes them fairly versatile, and then you just hook in whatever adapter you need. This one has a 5521. Since most of my panels are running 5520, or most of my power stations rather, are running 5521, so you know, makes it easy to hook up. And then you get these little Lumopals 60 watt, and these are quite a bit thicker, but overall size, you know, they're smaller. It's got the little box instructions. This is the older style, I believe. And then this one, they put the instructions on the outside and the box is on the other side. But this has your USB-A, USB-C, and then your 5521. So what would be a better option? You know, I mean, this, you just basically MC4 into whatever. These, if you want to charge a phone, you know, you got the option to plug in direct and charge your phone. You can't do that with that. You'd have to get a box to plug in. But we can go ahead and look at some output. I'll roll some footage in, and then there is one kind of a spoiler that I went ahead and filmed. But we'll take a look at the output of these and just kind of compare the two and see what, you know, might be the best option. Okay, we got our two 60 watt panels set up. These are the Lumopals, and they're nice, handy little panels. I'm going to be using my Vibin CN505 to test this, because it'll take a bit more wattage than some of the others that I have. And then we do have the adapter that I picked up, and I got from the 5521 to the 5525 on there. But what I'll do, I'll plug one panel and we'll see how much we're getting. Then we'll plug a second panel and see how much it's getting. Then we'll hook them together and see what our total is. And then I have my 100 watt Gazelle, and we'll test it and see how much we get from a single 100 watt. So we'll know between a single 100 watt versus the 260 watts. So let me plug some stuff in. Okay, with the single panel we are getting 30 watts, and that is the lower black panel. Now let's swap out, and I will plug in the upper gray panel, see how much it's going to put out. Give it just a second. And that one is probably angled a little bit better to the sun, so we're getting 32 with it. Now let me put the adapter on, and let's put both panels on. Okay, and like you expected, two panels we're getting 60. You'd have figured 62, but 60. So the two 60 watt panels are actually giving me 60 watts total. Which, like I said, with these panels, you're never going to get what you say you're going to get. I mean, that's why I say always over provision. If you want 60 watts, get 100 watt. If you want 100 watts, get 120 or 150 watt. But let's go ahead, let's get the 100 watt Gazelle set up and see how much we're going to get from a single 100 watt. Okay, with the 100 watt panel set up, same angle and everything, you see we are getting 61 watts. So pretty much the same output as the two 60 watt panels. This is MC4, which if that matters to you, that makes it a little handier. The other is 5521 and you'd have to adapt it. But like I said, we had to adapt this to 5525. Okay, it went up to 62. But really though, with these being on the same angle and two panels versus one, you're getting about the same. You're getting 60 or so, 63. Okay, maybe the sun's coming up a little, maybe it's getting more efficient. But overall, yeah, I would say we're pretty close to the same. I mean, not a nickel's worth of difference. I mean, it just depends on the size difference that you want to carry. Just to throw one more thing into the mix, I got my Dokia. I think it's 120 watt. You can see here we're pulling in 81 watts with that guy. So that's outdistancing the others too. It was 82 there for a while. I guess the sun shifted a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that's always another option. Okay, like you see, pretty much the same. I mean, granted, maybe they weren't set up optimal. Maybe you could get a little bit more out of the 100 watt. Or a little more out of your 60s if you'd line them up just perfect. But in real world, real world testing, these two are very comparable. You're getting about 60 watts out of each, which, even though these say they're 60, you're never going to get rated amount of wattage out of these. They're not going to be as efficient as they say, because they test them in cool conditions, lined up optimal to the sun, everything is perfect. So yeah, you're getting about half out of these. You're getting about 30 out of a 60. You're getting about 60 out of 100, so theoretically, this is giving you more output. But overall, your output is about the same. This is why I always say over provision on your panel. If you want 100 watt, bump up. Go to, 150 or 200 even wouldn't hurt. If you got a little bit of clouds, 200 is probably only going to give you 80 or 100 watt during a cloudy day. Another thing to consider, two of these probably would be lighter, easier to carry than one of those. Plus, like I said, you have the option with this box of charging phones, so you could hook this up, charge a phone off this, hook that up somewhere else, charge a phone off that. Versatility wise, your two panels are probably going to be a bit more versatile. Plus, if you look at form factor, as far as size, we'll go ahead and I'll open this, try to open this up here, and try and get all this in. You can see width wise, this is not a whole lot wider. Really, I mean, it's pretty close to the same width. But height-wise, you're talking twice the height. Now, once you do get two of these guys stacked up, you're going to be about the same height, same width. But when they're folded up, in their compact size, you can see they're going to be a lot smaller. Like I said, they are thicker. It's going to be thicker, but it's going to be a lot smaller. So you could probably stash two of these maybe a little easier than you could one of those. I mean, it just depends on what kind of vehicle you have, how you're going to be taking this. But that's another thing to consider. Price-wise, if you go with two of these 60s, you're looking at, they were, what, 90 bucks with a 25% or 30% discount, versus these Gazelles now, the 100 watts are about 129 or so. price-wise, you're probably going to be real close. I mean, you can find 100-watt panels cheaper. I mean, now there's one that I have in my list on Amazon that's 75 bucks, and it's similar. So price point, yeah, you're going to roughly be the same. But it just all depends on what you want to carry and your versatility. Like I said, the great little thing about these little 60-watt is the built-in box, which I can show you again. You got this little built-in box. So you do have your USB, and then you got USB-C, and then you got your output for your DC for your solar panel to run into your power station. So you could charge phones and stuff on this. Can't do that with the Gazelle. Now not all these 100 watts are the same. Some of them have the built-in box where you can charge stuff. But for the most part, it's only going to be a solar option. So yeah, the choice is kind of up to you. Depends on what you're looking to do, what you want. I honestly, I love the Gazelle. It's a handy panel for around the house when I want to throw something out and charge a power station. But for on the go, my money's going to be on these little 60-watt panels. They're a lot handier, a lot smaller. I can stash them a lot easier. You got the adapter that I showed you, which gives you two 5521s in and one out, so they're easy to hook together. They even make one of these with three, so if you want to hook three of those panels together, you could get some pretty good output doing that. And I still think three of them would be handier to have than just one of those, because you can always do your phones and stuff off that panel and not have to have a power station. So I hope you found this a little bit interesting. I know it's been a while since I posted a video, and I just wanted to get something out there, let you know I'm still around. But yeah, use this video for what it's worth, and see what you like. So like I always say, either we stand up for our rights or we can sit by and watch them go away. You all have an awesome rest of the day. We'll catch you later. TN.Frank out of here.